Good morning, this is Ogle's Fish Room. This is my 5-gallon with a new betta. Just put him in a few minutes ago. Watching him explore the tank is just such a thrill to me. Anyway, you've seen this tank before. This is a little 5-gallon. It's backlit, is the description of the, it's got that light in the very back panel, but that makes everything a silhouette because the light's coming from the back. So I put in a, don't have the backlit on right now, I've unplugged that. And I put in a submersible, I believe it's 11-inch or 7.5 probably. Submersible light up top. It's a suction cup to the lid of this tank. And that, there's some shrimp here. But that, this has got shrimp and two, well, I don't know if you can see them back there, in the very back. That's one of my auto sinkless. There's some more shrimp. I've got two of the autos in here for cleanup crew, for the algae. The shrimp are for the cleanup crew. And well, he's new, so he's still hiding back there a little bit. Anyway, I don't know if I said this. Bumblebee gobies, have about 5 or 6 of those in here. They've done very well. You know, if you look on YouTube, they act like they won't eat anything but live food, and that's just not true. I put freeze-dried blood worms in all my tanks, and darn it, bug bites. The green bug bites, which are, I want to say black fly larva ground up or something. Anyway, that sinks. The bloodworms float, so that kind of gives everybody a chance. I've seen these little guys, the gobies, eat both of those, and I've had these for a couple months. There's one of the autos stuck to the glass there. But anyway, I like, for a little tank, there's another goby under there. For a small tank, this is a 5-gallon, in case I didn't say that. There he is. For those of you that are new to this, I don't think many of you watching this are, but in case you are, the positive, a lot of people say the negative is it's hard to maintain a small tank. I would agree with that if you don't have any live plants in it, but if you have live plants, that's feeding off a lot of the ammonia and fish poop, for lack of a better word, the waste from the fish. The gobies have been in here for probably a month and a half, 2 months, and are doing fantastic. As I said, they're obviously eating something. I have other tanks with them in it, and they're all doing well as well. But once again, if you maintain the 5-gallon, I'm not really big on the water changes as much as a lot of people talk about. I think if it's balanced, if it's got, as you can see, the root growth here on, that's just an anubias I trimmed off of one of my other anubias and stuck it in the little hole there, and it's attached itself. You can see the root structure, so it's obviously doing well. It feeds off all the waste, as I said, and so do the Vallisneria, but they have to be in the substrate. The anubias and the Java fern, which are some back there, I've got glued to a rock, and it's just sitting on the wood structure there. There's I don't know if you can see it, some Java back there that's actually glued to the top half of a coconut shell. It's buried. You're just looking at the top of it. It's creating this mound here. Let me back off a little. To hold the structure back, of course, there's a rock here helping to do that. You can just barely see the top of that, but if you moved around, I don't know if I can get you around here, but if you, please excuse the shaky, there it is. There is a cave, there's a piece cut out of the coconut shell around the back, and things can go in there and hide. I love this structure here because it's got holes and a lot of swimming area. It kind of goes up, it's hollow up underneath there, so if the beta thinks that there's too much light, he can certainly, well, he's thinking he's going to catch one of those gobies, but I've got news for him. That ain't going to happen. Well, he's not used to the movement. Even if it's small, I'm sorry, I'm a big believer in hang on the back filters, or filters of some kind. And but there's enough structure in here that once he gets used to this, he'll be fine. I had a little female betta in here, and she was doing fantastic. I hope he's okay. Come on now. Come on, there you go. He'll figure it out. She had no trouble in here. She was very happy, but unfortunately, she jumped out of the back of this tank, which is hard to do. Sorry I'm making this kind of long, but one of the things I wanted to stress about a small tank is they make them with the lids very, very tight, and it warms up. A lot of people that maybe aren't, I've got digital thermostats, thermometers, that's right over here, there it is, on all my tanks. So I keep a close eye on that. This was overheating, so was a little 2.5 gallon Aqueon that I have. And I realized it was because of the lids, or just holding the heat in too much. Because the only lights I have on them are the submersible LEDs, which are not producing much in the way of heat. And where'd the little boy go? Anyway, so what I did is I built this area on the side out of, so it's up a couple inches. I built it out of gluing some yardstick, which is very light wood, typical yardstick, three together, and so it created a lip on the inside, which it's sitting on, and so it's popping the lid up. This is actually the lid here. It's just there, that little thin area, sitting on top. And so by opening up the back a little bit, it allowed the heat to escape, and it's doing fine. Dropped several degrees. And but there's a little gap in the back. I didn't really think much about it because it's such a small gap. But just a few days ago, I fed her, and then I couldn't see her again, and she's always up front looking around, or down in the cave, and I couldn't find her. So unfortunately, I looked on the floor in the back, and she had jumped out, and it was too late. I did not see her until it was too late. So I went to the dollar store. I found some little plastic basket type things. They're probably only small enough. They're long. They're about 12 inches long. But anyway, the point is that it's got slits on the side. It's very cheap plastic. And they're only like 3 for $1. They're very inexpensive. So for this tank and the other one that I propped the lid up in the back, didn't have any trouble with that tank, but that's not the point. The point is I don't want that mistake to happen again. So I cut the basket into the proper shape, and it's taped with electrical tape to the lid now. And so nothing's getting out of here, but the heat can still escape. Sorry I'm making such a long story, but I think, other people need to realize that. I think a lot of people are buying these small tanks. Now, I have 11 tanks, and my largest is 75, so I've been doing this since I was about 6 years old, and I'm 68 now. So, I've just never had tanks this small, and I usually have not airtight, but all my tanks have lids, solid, full covers. And just never had that problem before. But these little tanks that people are buying for bettas are almost airtight on top. I mean, it's got little gaps for the pumps and stuff, but not much. And it's just holding in the heat. And so what I'm trying to warn some of you about is if you don't pay attention to the temperature, because some people are putting heaters in these. I mean, some of these little kits actually come with heaters. And I don't know that you need that. You need to get these little guys, these little digital thermostats here, thermometers. There it is. They've got a little button there. They are run by battery, but that little button you see on the right, you push it, you see what the temperature is, then you push it again for 3 or 4 seconds, and it goes off. So if you're only running it for that long, that ought to last you forever. And these are cheap. If you only buy one on eBay, it's like $6 or $7. But holy cow, I bought a package of like 10 of the darn things for like $15. Hello. So anyway, or 20, something like that. But the point is, the more you buy, I know most of you probably don't have that many tanks, but anyway, I'm just trying to inform you about that. I wasn't going to do the whole room. I did a whole room video actually this morning and put it on YouTube already. But this is this afternoon, and there he is. Okay, he's exploring around a little bit and realizing, there's enough structure in here and plants. This Vallisneria is just doing phenomenal. I mean, it's probably because it's such a small tank, it's getting plenty of light. You can see what it's doing up top. It's growing across the surface and all around. So it's very happy. Like I said, that's the only plant in there that needs to be in the substrate. Where's the little boy? There he is. But he'll be fine once he gets used to where the water flow is. I'm a big believer in water flow because I want it to keep my sand clean. And it does. If you've got movement in here, a lot of these pumps, like the one that comes with this, is just a little pump up there. Oh, sorry, it's over there. There you can see the overflow right there. Actually, this is a hang on the back that I put on here. I've also got a sponge filter in the back. You can see the big black sponge right there. I try to cover it up as much as I can, but it blows, yes, you need an air pump. It blows bubbles up through there, and it creates a movement on the, anyway, you know what the air stone does. It's very good, but for circulation, but the main thing is that sponge. I like these because the sponge is actually pointed, sitting down on top. It's got a hole in the middle, sitting down on top of the intake tube. Sucks water in, creates good bacteria, beneficial bacteria, and also cleans the pudding out of the water. I just reach in there sometimes, put my finger on the top of that elbow that you see up top, the little periscope looking thing, and hold that down, pull the sponge up, go rinse it out, and put it right back in. It's fine and dandy. Does a fantastic job. So I don't care how small the tank is, I'm a big believer in having 2 filters running on these things. Anyway, I'm going to hush up now because I've taken up a lot of your time. Let's see. Okay, I'm very happy with this. I just wanted to show you the new Betta, and he will realize once he swims around that there's plenty of places in here not to be pushed by the water flow. Well, no, sorry, I thought he was back up top. I don't know where he is right now. But for a small tank, there's a lot for him to explore. This is very cavey in here. I don't know if that's him back there or not, but anyway. There's a lot going on, a lot of places for him to be. If I was going to have to live in a box, I want a lot of structure and things to move around and explore myself. So that's how I think when I'm trying to design these. Oh, there he is. No, that's not. I don't know where he went. Anyway, okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, real quickly, I thought while I was doing this on the small tanks, this is a 2.5 Aqueon bow front tank. Has a little filter over there. There's a little female Betta, white with pale blue fins. She is absolutely gorgeous. That has ghost shrimp for cleaning as well in here. I don't believe I have anybody else in here because this is only 2.5 gallon. I do not want to crowd that out. I've got about 10 shrimp in the Betta, and that's it. But as you can see, I like structure. I've got this built up in the corners with sand and rocks, and then my piece of driftwood that I've glued Nubius to is sitting on top of that. So it creates a little cave down here, which she comes to quite often if she wants to get out of the. There she is. She can also get under this pump right there and be in the shade, because the Bettas do not like bright lights. So I mean, she certainly comes out and swims around in them sometimes, but I'm just saying they need a place to get out of that. This little pump came with this tank, and again, I have my sponge filter back here. I love that. Boy, that one's putting out a lot more air. I need to maybe switch out that pump on the other one. Anyway, that's it. Just wanted you to see what that looks like. So even a small tank, this is 2.5 gallons, even a small tank can look nice if you put a little work and effort into it. I'm quite thrilled. She seems to be happy. I've had her for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. She seems pleased. There she is. Okay, we're signing off. You have a good day. Thank you so much for watching Ogle's Fish Room. I appreciate it. Have a great one. Bye-bye.